Hello again, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the Ocala real estate market trends for September of 2022 and kind of touch on what might be in store for the future of the Ocala housing market. And this is a subject that understandably seems to be on a lot of your minds right now. At least I've been getting a ton of calls and emails asking if prices have dropped here yet. And the answer to that is yes, they have. And then again, no, they haven't. Clear as mud, right? Well, hey, if it was an easy answer, I wouldn't have to be here talking about it, now would I? So in order to really explain what's going on in the Ocala market right now, we're going to have to break down the numbers. And when I say Ocala, I'm actually talking about the Marion County market as a whole, because a whole lot of what people consider to be the Ocala area is actually in the county rather than inside the city limits. Now in September of 2022, we had 670 closed sales of all home types across the market. Compare that to August when we had 870 closed sales, and we're looking at a 22% drop. When we look at pending sales, we had 695 homes go pending in September, compared to about 833 in August. Now that's a drop of about 16.5%. Now, let's take a look at active inventory, because that's where the real story starts. You can see by this chart that active inventory has been climbing pretty steadily since February of this year. We have 2,384 homes available in September, up from 2,137 active homes available in August. And that's up about 11.5% month over month, and it's a jump of over 110% since September of 2021. So obviously demand is down and supply is up. If you want to get specific about it, we've got about a 3-month supply of homes on the market right now, compared to the less than 1 month supply that we were dealing with a year ago. Putting that into a little more perspective, a 3-month supply of inventory is still considered a seller's market. A 6-month supply is an even market, and anything over 6 months is considered a buyer's market. And the rising supply of homes is definitely affecting home prices, but not as much as a lot of you were hoping for, and definitely not as much as a lot of other areas across the country. For instance, in August, our average sale price here in Marion County was a little over $299,000. In September, that number actually went up to an average of a little over $306,000. But when we look at the median sale price, and the median means that half sold over this number and half sold under it, the median sale price stayed flat at $265,000. And that's really significant, because with a single exception back in April, the median has risen every single month the entire year. Now, the median price tends to be a truer indicator because the average can be skewed by just a couple really high dollar sales and the median won't be. So that's important. So now let's look at what those homes sold for compared to what they were listed for, because that's where it starts to get really interesting. Now, pretty much all year, homes were selling at or over list price. Well, that's starting to change. In August, the median sales price dropped to 99% of list price, and in September, it dropped a little more to 97% of list. And when we look at days on market, in September, homes were staying on market an average of 19 days before going under contract, up from 14 in August and almost doubling from the 10 days we had in September of 2021. So what all this is telling us is that the market is softening, just a little bit. Listing prices aren't really dropping much yet, but buyers clearly have a lot more negotiating room. And as more sellers see that their homes aren't selling as quickly as they'd hoped, we're probably going to see more price improvements, and we're probably not going to keep seeing those listing prices skyrocketing upward. We're actually heading into that more stable market that I've been talking about, where buyers and sellers are on a more even playing field. If interest rates keep going up, and they probably will, then prices are going to be under even more pressure to stay low, because the high interest rates will keep pushing demand lower as well. So now, let's take a look at what's likely to happen with home prices on a more national level further on into 2023. Looking at this chart from Keeping Current Matters, we can see what the 5 leading experts are predicting as far as where home prices might be headed. And they pretty much agree to disagree, as you'll see here. The first one, the Mortgage Bankers Association, is predicting home prices to rise by about 2.8% in 2023. The Home Price Expectation Survey, which is a poll of over 100 industry experts, is calling for an appreciation rate of roughly 2.6%, and the National Association of Realtors is looking for a more modest 1.2% increase. But then we look at Fannie Mae, who's predicting a drop of 1.8%, and Zelman and Associates, who is really negative at a drop of 4% in 2023. But if you just average all those out, which in theory should give you a somewhat better idea overall, we're looking at an average of 0.2%, or a pretty flat market. And obviously different parts of the country are going to be affected differently, but I've got a sneaking suspicion that here in the Ocala area, it's going to be pretty accurate. We've still got a lot of pent-up demand here in Marion County, so I really don't expect to see a huge drop in prices. I do think that the upward trend in prices is pretty much over, and that prices will probably drop over the next year as interest rates rise. But I still don't think we're looking at a dramatic fall in home prices. We still have a whole lot of people moving to our area, and they're all looking for a place to live. More people are retiring here in order to take advantage of our weather, our central location, the lack of state income tax, and the relative affordability. And we're also attracting a lot more businesses to our area, pretty much for the same reasons. And with all those businesses moving here, all their employees are coming with them too, and they're all looking for housing. So if you've been waiting for prices to drop 30, 40, or 50% before you jump back in the market, get comfy, because you probably won't be going anywhere anytime soon. But if you gave up on buying a home because you got tired of dealing with sky-high prices and bidding wars, well, it might just be time to get out there and start looking again. As interest rates rise and more inventory hits the market, you're going to have a whole lot more homes to choose from, and you're going to be in a much better negotiating position. You can't get crazy with it, but things like inspection repairs and closing cost credits are definitely back on the table again. So, is now the right time to buy? Well, maybe, maybe not. Kind of depends on your situation. Overall, I'd say that, yeah, it's still a really good time to buy a home, for a whole lot of reasons. But I'll go into that in a little more depth on my next video. But meanwhile, if you're looking for a home here in the Marion County or surrounding area, I'd be more than happy to help you find the right one, and at the right price too. So until next time, take care, and I'll see you soon.